All right, so this is Tyler Townsend with the Psychotic Strength podcast, and this is my guest.
Klaus Kroeger.
Nice. Kroeger, that's how you say it?
I think so.
I keep saying Kroeger.
Gee, my dad told me Kroeger when I was little.
Okay.
And it's that OE, and like I guess Lathan can be done the same way.
Okay.
I've looked it up, and I can't find hard evidence that it is Kroeger, but everybody in my family has been telling me it's Kroeger since I was little, so that's what we're going with.
It's your fucking name.
I guess so.
You can do what you want with it, right? Okay, this thing's recording, so we're good. All right, well, let's head right in. Gym update for me. Not great for myself. I got quite a few clients, though, and they're doing well, so that's good. I might start... I met a dude this morning, Rio, R-H-E-O, and he's just started at Hardcore. He's going to start being a client in November. And the dude is already starting out. He lifted super heavy a long time ago, and now he's coming in, and his lifts already, his bench is like 240, his squats like over 3. Like he's got a good base, which is going to be fantastic. But he's powerlifting only. I'm going to try and convert him. I'm going to try and get him to Strongman, but you know, it's always what the client wants too, right? If he wants to learn
One show. Just get him to one show. That's all it takes.
it's going to be hard for him not to once you see it.
Especially because the powerlifters translate so well, especially if there's like a big deadlift, and then they get to kind of walk on and show the big deadlift or whatever, get everybody hyped.
Yeah.
And then the rest is just so much fun.
Well, everybody they convert eventually, or they at least give it a shot, and why not, right? Like, yeah, I can't help it. All right, how about you? What do you do for the gym?
Oh, so in the past 3 years, it's all strongman.
Yeah.
Growing up, I had a super athletic base. I was a competitive tennis player in Missouri.
Oh, shit.
When I was like, started at 8, competed, was like doing those trips every weekend to kind of go be fancy places, and did that all throughout high school. Then I wrestled in high school a little bit. Then
What'd you do with that?
I did okay. I was a good tennis player, so they didn't want me getting hurt wrestling.
Yeah.
So finally, my senior year, they let me wrestle a little bit, and I loved it. I just love the physical of anything. Then I went to college, and I powerlifted pretty much all the time. I was 170 wrestling, and then I got up to 230 in like a year and a half at college.
God damn, that's a big difference, man.
Yeah. And it was funny because I was doing a lot of calisthenics at the time, and I noticed I liked being heavy.
Yeah.
But the calisthenics was tough being heavy, especially on my body. So I cut back down to about 180 and then moved out to Portland. And then I just found the strongman community. I went to my first show at the Hardcore Barbell where they transferred the owners, I think, in 2022.
Yeah.
And I was sold after that. It's been all strongman since then. The amount of sandbags I've purchased and stones and all sorts of things.
Sandbags kill me, bro. I can't stand them.
I love them so much. And then my favorite thing about it is they're humbling.
Yeah.
And that's where a lot of power lifters or Olympic weightlifters who are amazing and strong in their own right. But like if you're ever talking about, I'm a strong man, right?
Yeah.
Give them a 200-pound sandbag and see what they do with it.
Yeah.
And it's amazing how I've seen people with 500-pound deadlifts struggle to shoulder a 200-pound sandbag, and they'll look in their eyes like, oh, these different dimensions, things change.
Right. And it's moving.
Exactly.
So a stiff, like a keg, like I can throw that fucker around. It doesn't move. I mean, depending on what's in it, right? Like some people put water, which is probably the easiest, but some people will throw sand in that bitch.
Yeah.
So you flip it, and it just like shifts in there. It's kind of crazy, but I like sturdy elements a little more because that sandbag, it flops. It's like fucking moving around in your hand. It squishes like an ugly sweater this year. I'm not doing it this year because it's like 80% sandbags. And I'm just like, dude, even the Husafel is a sandbag.
Yep.
And I was like, okay, well, I love Jeff. I love his shows. I'm also cutting for the first time in 15 years.
I would not want to do sandbags cutting because they're just brutal on your system. Especially walking with a heavy Husafel.
Yeah.
It feels fine at the time, but if you're cutting the next day, it feels like trash.
Yeah, it's definitely a weird thing. I haven't cut in 15 years. Like I just never cared. I don't give a shit. I compete at what I weigh at, and I want to be as strong as fucking possible forever. I haven't hit maxes in probably about 6 months. So I was talking to this guy this morning, and I'm like, he's like, well, how's losing weight? Because I lost about almost 30 pounds ish. I'm about.
Nice.
And thanks.
You look good.
Thanks. So he's like, well, how's that correlate to your strength so far? And I'm like, honestly, I don't know. I just want to get sexy as shit, take a picture, and then just move on with life, Like, just one time. One sexy picture, and I'll just keep masturbating to it for the rest of my life.
Dude, I do the same thing. Every time I cut before a comp, I have my wife take so many pictures, and she kind of groans, but she helps me find that good lighting. I get that one nice picture. I'm like, look, I looked like that once.
One time.
And then it's like off to the races, all bloated and whatnot.
Yeah. I cut cheese or dairy and gluten out. So, and that's been, I'm gluten intolerant or dairy intolerant. So lactose intolerant, whatever. And it just fucks myself up. Like, I stink. I'm farting all over the place. I'm bloated. It's nasty, but it's been mostly for her that I'm fucking not eating dairy.
Dude, I'm in the same boat.
Yeah.
My wife tells me I'm lactose intolerant. I haven't fully bought on yet, but she gets upset if I eat a lot of ice cream.
Yeah, creams, especially sour cream, ice cream, that kind of shit.
The good stuff.
Yeah, the good stuff. Anything tasty. It's super frustrating, but... Okay, well, so you got hooked in 2022.
Wait, hang on. I want to go back to something.
Do it.
So, you talked about cutting. One thing I really do like about weighted sports or like sports with weight classes and cutting is your body changes. And while I don't necessarily think any one person should bulk or cut to extremes, but I do think like the act of cutting or the act of bulking helps you get to know your body as it changes, even if it's just I never want to be that weight again, and then come right back.
Yeah. I mean, your squat form changed. Everything changed.
It's wild.
When I got really big, I had to widen my stance to make room for my stomach.
Yeah.
Like little shit like that. And then I feel like fluctuating a good 50 pounds, right? I feel like that's an okay range.
Agreed.
And being at the top and the bottom teaches you about your body.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, at the bottom, you'll be light as you ever have, but there'll be different tension. There'll be different things in the way. There will be... Your whole stance has to be different. But then you get real big, you got to change again. So you're strengthening your body in different ways. Different tendons, different stability muscles. I think it's a good idea.
No, I think everybody should do it once. If not, just to go through the process. Just to understand what certain foods do to you. What other things, there's so much misinformation out there. Yeah. The only thing you can do is go through it.
Yeah.
Drop 20 pounds, see what that feels like. If it's for you, stay there. If it's not, go the other way. See what happens.
Right. And I have a lot of clients and they're always like, oh, nutrition wise, what should I do? I said, first of all, I'm not a nutritionist. I gotta tell you that. And calories wise, it's usually what I kind of base my stuff on. And when we're especially starting, I'm like, homemade. If it is made in your house, or if you're going out to dinner and it was made there, right? Not super processed, none of this other shit, then you're okay. And stay within this calorie range. Because people are like, oh, I'm going to do chicken and rice and broccoli every single day. No, you're not. I can almost guarantee you're not going to do it. And then you're going to go fucking nuts on the weekend.
Exactly. And I've been there when I dropped 230 to 180. I obsessed and did the wrestling style.
Yeah.
Just chicken, rice, and tuna. And it's funny because I think, especially in today's age with fitness influencers out there, this is why I think Strongman is so important, because you have these people and some of them are big, some of them not as big. None of them are particularly model good looking, but at the same time, they're pretty healthy. Their bodies are capable of a huge range of motion and a high intensity weight, but even the bag throwers are super quick with their stuff. And they've got endurance. They can go for days. And I just think we get so focused on what we look like and what we're supposed to look like. But at the end of the day, the healthiest, strongest athletes, they'll have a little bit of fat on them. That's important to recover. And sometimes it's more important about what you can do than how you look in the mirror.
Absolutely. I also had this conversation again this morning, which is, it's cool that I had this meeting this morning because it brought up a lot of thoughts in my head, which were, he's like, okay, well, I want to lose weight but get strong. Is that possible? I said, absolutely. You got to do it correctly. And what I want you to do is, what I do with all my clients is, first of all, weigh yourself to begin with. Sure. But we're going to measure you. We're going to measure your calves, your thighs, your biceps, your shoulders, your chest, your stomach. Because as you get stronger, you will be losing fat because muscle's hungry, right?
That's right.
But muscle's heavy. So weighing yourself, you're going to feel discouraged because you're either going to get heavier or not get heavier, but you're definitely not going to get lighter.
Agreed.
But you're going to feel good. You're going to look good. Those pants are going to fit better.
I would also argue, like, anybody who, like, steps on a scale and says, I'm this weight, and any weight sport is going to know this, I fluctuate 10 pounds every week. Yeah. My Monday weight is 10 to 12 pounds higher than my Friday weight because I don't eat very good on the weekends. A lot of salts and waters and recovery, and I'm all bloated, but people don't understand how water weight contributes to it. And if you're somebody who eats a lot of sodium and drinks a lot of water, a gallon is 8 pounds, and people will get so excited over losing 2 pounds, and you want to, like, be there for them while they're getting excited, but you also know, like, maybe they just didn't drink enough that day. So even then, to find that what you quote-unquote weigh, that takes at least a month of consistent weighing and marking and trending before you can even say I've lost or gained anything.
Well, and is your diet perfect?
Exactly.
Right? Like, if you are doing the exact same thing every day, sure, go by weight. Right? Bodybuilders, absolutely, right? They are so strict, it's insane. Sure, they can do that. But if you're a normal person, even kind of, then it's not going to help. You know, you're going to feel good, you're going to feel bad, and that's not what we're looking for. And obviously, again, also, like, let's do this every week, or let's do it once a month.
Right.
Right? And the same time-ish every time.
Yeah. Being consistent.
Yeah. Consistency is going to get you more in the gym than anything else. And a lot of the times, what I try and tell everybody, when you're paying me to coach you, like, your consistency is what's going to make this. And me keeping you accountable is what's going to keep you consistent. And sometimes that's all you need.
Yeah.
Like, if I just kept you accountable, called you every fucking day, you would be better. And, like, people are like, oh, it's because of you. I got this strong. But I'm helping you do that, sure. But it's because of you. You were consistent. You were in the gym. You were doing all the shit I'm telling you need to do. You showed up. I mean, Sean, this dude's lost, like, fucking tons of weight. And he's getting stronger at the same time. So he was going off of his weight for a while. But I'm like, your belt fits. When we started, his belt didn't touch. And now he can buckle it. And I'm like, fuck yeah, it's not fun to get him buckled in, but it shouldn't be either way. Right? So the guy's a monster. He's been doing great. I mean, everybody just putting in that consistent work.
Isn't that funny about being a coach? So it's like you work your ass off to get, fairly high levels. Your numbers are insane. I've seen them. And you start to attract people, and they ask you, like, what do you do to get big? And I want to do, like, now you're a coach and pretty successful as far as, like, your athletes are showing up. Yeah. But it's like you put all this work in, you get all this size, and then the only real advice you give people is show up.
Yeah.
If your squat's weak, let's work on a couple of things to help your squat up. But at the end of the day, it's just eat, get into the gym, and put in that time and be consistent.
Right. And someone to bounce questions off of is seriously, we talk about Strongman is a place full of, for lack of a better word, gear.
Yeah.
Right? I've dealt with clients who refuse it or who are abusing it. Yeah. Right? And the thing is, too, with all that, there's this piece of it, too, when you're using that, of, like, it now is helping 10% and hurting 50%.
Yeah.
There's no point in you doing that much or hurting yourself that much or putting yourself in that position of potential harm for the amount of gain you're going to get out of it. But someone who actually knows what they're talking about will keep someone alive. You know what I mean? I mean, people hop on this shit and have no idea what they're doing, and it's scary.
Especially, what I've read, detached from the youth at this point, but like the SARM stuff you see and the social media stuff, those kids are getting on some of that stuff squeaking by the FDA early, and I'm so scared in 10 or 20 years we're going to find out that it doesn't have really wonderful long-term consequences. But and on that same, like, gear talk, even my buddies, like, everybody focuses on the last 10%. And by that, it's like, you show up, You do your deadlifts, you do a squat, you do a press, and you hit those, and then you work whatever your weak spots are with like accessories, and then you eat right. That's 90%.
Yeah.
And then people will figure, do I need a knee brace? Do I need squat shoes? Is the lever belt gonna work? Do I need my soft belt with the lever belt? And yeah, at high levels of competition, that does matter. And gear matters, and all those fancy things matter. But for 99% of the people, it's like you're worrying about things that shouldn't be talked about for another 5 years. Let's just build a good base
if
and
not
get
like
there.
8.
Yeah, 100%.
Like, I tell everybody, if you're under 28, don't even look at it.
Yeah.
Unless there's something like TRT based you need to address.
Right.
Always get every time I talk to a new client, have you had your levels checked? And it's not because I'm trying to put you on shit. It's really because I need you to know where you're at.
Yeah.
If your test levels are 30, we need to figure that shit out. Because you're probably suffering in your whole life.
100%.
Energy, sex drive, like just everything, right? You probably don't feel much like a man if you're a dude with a low test level.
Yeah.
And that should be addressed immediately. And again, I'm not trying to pop people on shit, right? I want the best athlete possible, but that also, you're going to fuck up your muscles gaining the amount of muscle you can gain from this shit without your bone density, your CNS, like all that shit there. You're going to destroy yourself. And people don't get it. They just hop on shit and they're like, this will help. Yeah, it's helping, but it would have helped either way.
Yeah. Well, and this conversation and like what you're talking about with your approach, that's what's so important is like when it is a taboo and nobody's ever on gear, even though everybody is clearly on gear if they're making money from it. It's like you can't address it until you kind of bring it out in the open. It's not a taboo. Yeah. Some people are on gear. Some people aren't. But if you do it, let's talk about it. Let's be responsible. Let's check about it. Hopefully you have a doctor that you can really socialize that with because it's crucial. It's important. And it's your life. Work.
Yeah, like it really is. I mean, we want to keep you, first of all, alive. Right? Let's do that. I mean, I don't know if you noticed, but some people did, some people didn't. And I've been in the industry for too long not. But as soon as people came back from COVID, they overdid it. Everybody's overdoing everything. Heart attacks, fucking heart failure, because they're just, I want to be back where I was because they haven't hit the gym in 2 years.
Right.
And then they're just blasting all this shit and killing themselves. It's nuts.
So much misinformation out there.
It's crazy.
And everybody's lying about it anyway. Yeah. And it's just like, let's talk about it.
Well, they're creating this image that they think, well, you can do this naturally. No, you can't. There's no fucking way. No. You're insane. Maybe 1% of humanity can, and that guy's not it. Yeah. He's lying to you. You know, it's crazy, but yeah.
Even the non-normals, right? They also make gear to be something it isn't, right? Like at the end of the day, it helps you recover really efficiently. Yes. It's 1, 2, and 3 things. If you're putting in the work, maybe I can hit my deadlift twice in a week now because my recovery's there and I'm not destroying my body. That is going to help, but at the same time, like, that's what it's doing as far as I understand. At least I'm not a doctor or nothing.
That's where we're at.
It's recovery.
It's really just rebuilding.
Right.
That's all it's doing.
It doesn't make you stronger. It doesn't. It allows you to recover so you can put more work into it.
You can get stronger immediately. I mean, building muscle is tearing and filling, right? That's just really just boom. You're slicing it up, filling it back in with more, and what you want is that thick, grainy shit. Right? There's also a reason where like a bodybuilder, when they're done competing, they deflate.
Yeah.
Versus like a powerlifter, strongman, they will always be big.
Right.
Like their traps, everything. I always tell everybody, you want to know how strong someone is, look at their traps. That's really it.
That glob of just upper mass with that upper lats and mid and
Captain
weird
traps. Yeah. He's strong, right? Like fucking these guys who are lifting and whatever. I mean, they aren't gear or whatever the fuck, but like, if their traps are huge, they are strong. And that means they squat, they deadlift. And deadlift to me is, I think, the ultimate form of showing someone how strong you are.
I would agree.
Yeah. I love it. I love doing that.
When I wrestled, and just, as a dude, when I walk around and size people up, right? Like, it is what it is. But you start to notice those things. Or when I got into jiu-jitsu a lot, too, and you look at a guy and maybe his huge pecs and huge biceps, and everybody's avoiding him, and I'm like, nah, we will play with it. But then you get a guy with like no chest, but looks like he's like hunched over with the biggest spinal erectors you've ever seen. And you're like, oh, that guy can toss me. I'm not going to mess with that guy.
I was telling her too. It's funny. I saw this video on Instagram, and I kickboxed for years. Right?
Okay. I didn't know that. That's cool.
Yeah. Well, I was doing it while training strongman. Extremely counterproductive. Because snappy, quick, flexible movements versus slow, hard tension. Doing them at the same time was stupid. I ended up tearing my bicep doing it. I tore my bicep boxing, not fucking lifting. And it was because I had a really wide hook that he caught at my wrist. I tore my own bicep.
Yep.
And I was like, ooh. So doing that, it's funny because if you get into a moment with a guy, right? And you're both like, you've decided, okay, we're going to fight. I can tell in 30 seconds whether I want to do this or not. Like, if this dude stands up and his hands are super wide and he's just, like, doing this weird one fist out or whatever the fuck, right?
Yeah.
But if someone's bouncing and their hands are near their head and they like, look like... I'm like, fuck! Like, this is gonna suck. And usually with those people who... If you can both tell, you both know how to fight.
That's the thing, is there's, like, a secret code. And that's exactly what you're gonna say. It's like, you fight, I fight. Like, I don't want to get hurt here, dude. Let's go home. And usually the people who are really, really good at this, now there's outliers, but I find this in every like community, is your toughest, scariest, biggest guys are also like the cutest like puppy dogs as soon as they step away. And then there's no need for them to posture. So usually when they're there, if you know, you're like, all right, let's talk this out.
Yeah, you're like, I can see you know what the fuck you're doing. Like, I don't want to we're not wearing gloves. Like, like, anybody who's ever actually fought knows that no matter what, this is going to fucking hurt.
Yeah.
Even if I beat your ass, my hands are going to be swollen. Like, I'm sick of this shit. Like, can we just... But anybody who's not, I'm like, I got to dodge 3 of these, land one right to your gut. I don't even have to break your face. Like, I'll knock the wind out of you and ask you if you're done.
Yeah.
You know, like, just... Plus, I mean, I played soccer for, like, 15 years, too. So my leg kicks are... pretty devastating. Like, I mean, I can kick a ball from goalpost to goalpost. Like, and it's just, I was goalie, like, power was my thing.
Yeah.
So I've broken a lot of legs, a lot of fucking, even in wrestling, football, all that shit, my aim was to hurt. And I was a kind of a piece of shit in high school, I'm not going to lie to you, but my aim was to really just viciously hurt as many people as I could. I only played defense in football. Because I didn't give a fuck about blocking for somebody. Fuck that. I want to hurt him. I want that guy, and I want him to be broken. And you learn how to do things horribly.
Yeah.
But I've kicked through... I've knocked someone on their ass blocking an entire roundhouse kick with their full leg and body behind their leg.
Jeez.
Like, just boom, and I'm almost flipping this dude on his head. Try to stop a teep. Go ahead and try. You know? I've also... We're practicing teeps and shit, or, like, front kicks.
Yeah.
There's no one moving me. There's like 2 dudes I went to Forge Combat Academy, which is down there in off First, and there's 2 dudes in that gym. One of them is the coach who can even move me if I don't want you to. I'm a big fucking guy, right?
And that's so. All this is actually making sense when I watch like how you lift and some of your footage from competitions, but. Dude, never trust a big guy who can also like do the splits or who can move because they know what they're about. And that mobility that you do gain from that sports and athletic motions, I think, is awesome. And yeah, like what you're saying, dude, we all, not all, but we all go through that young, angry man phase.
Oh, yeah.
And then you grow up and just channel it into strongman and become normal society.
Well, you know what changed me? Kickboxing.
Yeah.
I stepped in there and I'm like, I've gotten in so many fights. Jiu-jitsu guys I'd get away from. If you try and take me... I used to tackle people.
Yeah.
But the first time I got flipped on my head by a little dude and choked out, I was like, I'm never going back down there again. Fuck this. This dude almost broke my arm. You know? Like, what are you even doing? Yeah, I'm done. What are you talking about? This hurts.
Some 160-pounder just giggling while they got you in a guillotine.
He wanted me to grab him. Like, he just fell on his back, and I was like, that was the easiest. And then I'm on my back. My arm's about to be broken, and he's just over there. You done? No, I'm not done. But take a few elbows. Are you done now? You know, but I walked in there, heavy-handed as fuck. And this guy's like, look, this guy, Sonic, I don't know if he's listening or not, but Sonic's what he's called. And probably a good 5'9" to 10" Asian dude. I walk in there, and he's like, I'm just going to match your energy. So whatever you give me, I'm giving you. And I just start swinging for I landed one. my first overhand right. And he's like, okay. And in front of my kids and wife at the time, just obliterated me. Got me to the point I'm about to fall over. And he was just waiting for me to swing and then just counter. Just popping me hard. I've never been just humiliated like that.
And it's that look of confidence when they do it too.
Yeah.
Like in gyms, they've got the same. Every gym's got their own little mat enforcer. And it's never the biggest scary guy. It's like the chillest dude in the corner. And if you're going a little too hard with the white belts, he'll come over very casually, very sweetly put you in their place and then walk away. And you're just like, I learned a lesson there.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened, but it hurt. But now I want to do this.
Yeah. Well, it got to the point where I was doing it for so long and so often, I was using it as, like, for real estate too.
Yeah.
I was like, this is part of my marketing. So I'd be there fucking morning and night. I was there 5 days a week, and 3 of those days was twice a day. So I was going. And so I ended up becoming the enforcer. And one of the reasons, too, is fighting me is it makes people nervous because I don't block my face, ever. So I headbutt people's fists. Because, I mean, my neck is so big, I can't even turn it enough for you to knock me out. So, like, you have to beat me to death before I'm going down. And the only people who shook me up were Sonic, fucking Mo, and then Chris De La Rocha, which he's the main coach. He was in the UFC.
Yeah.
That fucker hits so hard and I've never seen hands move like that. But he literally stood, didn't even move, and just armed through and almost knocked me out in front of my kid.
Dude, yeah.
So I'll walk in there, and every time someone comes from another gym, it's just throwing too hard with the rookies. Like, they're like, hey, the session's over, but now you get a 3-minute session with this guy if you're up for it. And I would just walk in there and start headbutting because you're always throwing reachers, right? So I would just headbutt their fist until they do that.
You're the worst.
What they don't understand either is I'm taking some of your momentum away. You don't have a full lock.
Because I don't get my full... Right. You take my range away, and my hand hurts like hell.
And this is the hardest part of my head. I don't give a fuck. I played soccer too. I'm headbutting balls. I don't give a shit. So I would just do that and then go ahead and block. You can have both hands in front of your face. It's not going to fucking matter with the amount of just... heavy behind these.
You feel it either way.
Yeah. And I just walk forward the entire time. I'm down, I'm like turtled in, and just boom, and then just boom, that overhand right or my left hook. When I tore my bicep, I was still in the gym all that time, just hitting the bag with my left arm. So my left was weaker, and now my left hook is probably harder than my overhand right. And it's sneaky because I'm obviously right-handed when I stand up, and nobody sees that. My first move now would be to fake a big overhand right, and then come in and left hook right to the body, and then right to the head. That'll probably put just about anybody out because as soon as I hit your body, which you're not expecting, because everyone goes for the head first, boom, your hands are dropped down, and now I got that secondary hook coming to your face. Fuck.
And at your weight and strength and quickness. Again, like if you take a shot to the body, unless you're super prepared for it, you're slow. You're just going to be slow after that.
Yeah, I can also kick someone in the head. I know I don't look like it, but I can jump kick someone fucking full, 6 foot and under, right? Like, I'm not giving myself those 6'6" monsters.
No, but that's cool. And just that, like, the wide array there, right? Like soccer, martial arts of any kind, the strongman, that's a complete package. Yeah. And I think, as a coach, that's important. Like, what are your goals? I can make you strong for soccer. I can make you strong for martial arts. And I think after I did from jits to strongman, I really got into the sandbag stuff. And then I called all my jits buddies, like, you want to know how to, like, ragdoll somebody?
Yeah.
Come work with this 200-pound sandbag, because strength is cheat codes in jiu-jitsu. Yeah. If you can ragdoll, especially with grip strength and stuff like that, if you can ragdoll a 200-pound sandbag, that makes you a force. Well,
what was making people nervous is during kickboxing they got jits going on. Yeah, I don't fucks with jits because I'm too big. Getting up and down and up and down is just takes too much energy for me. But of course I'd wrestle around with them, see what they got. Right? It's that for me, strength is the cheat code. Because what are you going to do in the air? Uh-oh. Don't do that. What are you going to do in the air? So no matter what, picking someone up, they're kind of like, oh shit, what am I going to do here?
Right.
So like even you have no pivot points in the like. So I would just pick everybody up and be like, now what are you going to do? And honestly, yes, we're fucking around, but if I wanted to, I would crush you into the ground right now.
Yeah.
As high, because I can also pick up a 350-pound stone and just slam you into the ground. Like, I don't care who you are, that shit hurts.
Exactly. At the end of the day, if you can handle your own body weight plus, like in a sandbag, to shoulder or to throw or to anything else, like that's a force to be reckoned with.
Yeah, that sandbag in that jits training, like we ended up getting them for Forge over there because it will make you 100 times better.
Yeah,
100 times.
Cheat codes.
Yeah,
I love it.
Dude. Strength is a cheat code, I think, for just about everything. I don't know. Even in soccer, I was never super agile, but I'm running through you. You know, like I'll play this like I'm playing football. Like you're not going to want to get in my way because I can keep the ball just far enough away from you to where you can't take it from me. And then we're slamming into each other. Oopsies. You shouldn't have ran into me. And then I'm going to keep going. But
that's a part of the mental game too. If they're scared to go in certain areas or they're hesitant to go in certain areas, just that couple seconds, like anybody who's played sports at that level, it starts to really play a role into it. And you're like, oh, I'm not going down that way because he's hit me about 2 times and it hurts every time I get hit and I'm getting slow. So, like, you can change the game by being that physical presence, even without doing dirty stuff that would, like, elicit, like, red cards in soccer or...
So I was a goalie.
Okay.
Goalies really don't get red cards ever. So sometimes if there was a dude who's just taking the ball, running it all the way through... I'd tell my defense, hang up high, like to where he's getting a full sprint in. Then I'm going to go for the ball, and I'm going to miss, but I'm going to roll. Right? So now this dude is coming in, trying to make... I don't care if you score. I'm going to obliterate your whole body and make you nervous to be on this side of the field. Right? So I would just crush people into the ground with I'm going for the ball, and they're right here, and just boom, roll over them.
Yeah.
Because I wrestled, right? So that rollover is real easy for me. But that guy's not coming back down here.
Or you talked about being on defense in football, right? Like, you crack a receiver one time, like after a good catch. Now they're thinking about you instead of thinking about making the catch. And that changes things again. And just being that presence, being able to physically handle yourself and demonstrate. You don't even have to continue doing it a couple of times, then you're kind of off the hook.
Yeah. And getting into somebody's head, I would do. There's a legal illegal move, right? Where like if my receiver or somebody's going down the fucking road, they're getting there. You're supposed to chase after your guy, right? That's how you're supposed to do, and you're supposed to block for him. Well, 90% of people are just like, fuck, he's gone, and kind of stop. I'm now cracking you from the side, just boom, boom, just like knocking everybody over who's not even looking, knocking you on your head. So now every time you're like, okay, he's getting through, but where's that fucking guy who's like hitting me from the side where I can't see him, you know? And it's not illegal. I'm not hitting you from the back. So technically I'm blocking for that guy up there, or I'm trying to get to that guy and you're in my way or whatever. So it was a little fucked up, but I loved it.
No, that's awesome. That's why I love hockey. I mean, to this day, and it's funny because people can be famous for that.
Yeah.
And you got your star lineup, and then all of a sudden you get the goon squad coming in there, and those stars get off the ice pretty quick, or they're pretty careful around them, and it changes the play. It's a mental, creative way to like really change the game and add those extra elements, and I think that's awesome.
Well, so I feel like every single sport is chess. Right?
Yeah.
Everyone. Like fighting, definitely. Like, because you want to make them, feints are huge, right? A good feint will set you right up for something else. Or just, I always do this inside leg kick with my front leg. Just right in here to where they're just nervous. And they always drop their hands, right? So then I can fake an overhand right, and you're wide for that. So that was something I did a lot in kickboxing. But Strongman.
Dude, I was just going to bring this up. Strongman, like, coming from powerlifting, my friends did Oli lifting, stuff like that, and it's awesome, and there are differences, and people do train differently, but with the dimensions, it takes a little bit of that chess away, But at that strongman, you can be an endurance, you can be a big presser, you could have a horrible press and a great deadlift, and you can have all these different looking, different size, different way of training. People compete side to side and get 100 different results, and they're all still competing for those top 3 spots.
Right. There's 5 completely different events in every single thing, right? So, like, there's usually your press, your deadlift, your grip, your movement implement, and then kind of just like a fun, crazy-ass fucking thing. That's usually how I do my shows, right? So, actually, in this one, I have the bat. Do you know how to do that?
I bought one.
Okay, cool, yeah. So, I mean, just that, I always have my clients do it.
Yeah.
It's amazing for the stability in your shoulders. The strength you get from it is great.
So that's something you did there, too, and I don't know how much you've talked about it. It's this whole beer-themed event coming up. A lot of keg work, a lot of different stuff. And one, for those who don't know, kegs are extremely accessible implements. You hit up Facebook Marketplace, you can score a keg almost anywhere for $20.
Yeah.
My buddy just had 7. He's like, please don't buy one on Marketplace. I'll come bring one down to you just so it cleans out my garage. And like the bats, but that's the thing is, if you haven't touched a keg, if you haven't touched this shoulder rock with a bat and things like that, I bet the people that start to invest in training that way, they're going to find new different types of strength. They're going to find the mobility benefits for any of those mace works for your shoulders. And I'm a big deadlifter, and I do rock climbing a lot. So I have a lot of that pull, and I start to get all tight and tensed up in my traps in my shoulder area. And doing the dead hangs or those shoulder rocks, like, they're going to free stuff up. And it's cool that you put them in your show, because you're going to make people do something that maybe they haven't done a whole lot.
Right.
And they're going to grow because of that.
Right.
And that's, in the spirit of Strongman, I think that's super cool just to push, the dimensionally, like, hey, how can we change this up and up just to feel this like a slightly different way?
Yeah. I mean, it's, no matter what, I've been coaching for too long to not try to accidentally coach everyone. Right? Like, I mean, so this is my kind of way of like, this is going to be weird for you guys, but practicing this will improve you physically, I promise, right? So really, I'm just like, if you want to come to this show, you're going to figure out how to help you be better, right? Like, just...
And that's, I mean, all right, so now we can go back and make this tie. Coming out to Portland and getting into the Strongman, that's what I loved about the community. That first show I went, I didn't know anything.
Yeah.
And I'd be like, dude, I've never pulled a 400-pound anchor before. And I had this big dude who, like, he was just awesome. And he was like, set it back, and he was, like, showing me how to do this stuff. And it's just the really good people who are there, the judges are there, and it's just like, it's competitive, and it's very competitive, and I like that. But at the same time, everybody's there to help you and grow, and it's like, I only want to beat you if you're the best you can be. So I'm going to teach you how to deadlift this little whippy elephant bar, and then I'm going to kill you at it. But I want you to get a couple more reps to push me, and that sense of community, and like, we're all growing together while just figuring out these wacky, how do I press a 200-pound keg? How do I get it to my shoulder? And everybody's going to do it slightly differently, but yeah, dude, the coaches are so sweet, and I think, like, coming in as a novice, I hope people are listening and hear this, but it's like, Strongman has easily been the most welcoming sport I've stepped on, and especially for a lot of women who haven't grown up in those traditionally competitive or meathead type sports, like, they come out here and all of a sudden you watch some gal like pull 225 and lights go off. They're confident, and the coaches are like cheering them on. Everybody's rallying them behind them, and you're seeing people get to be strong publicly for the first time, and that changes people. And I think that's such a cool part of the sport. And once I hit that first comp, I was hooked for those reasons.
So it was the same thing with me, right? So I did this fucking years and years ago, and the coach I had at the time, Jeff Pearson, he doesn't do it anymore, right? I don't know why or what happened, but he's a wonderful human. I was like, so where do I got to be able to compete? And he's like, what does that even mean? And I'm like, I want to be competitive. He's like, no, you want to compete. Go compete. And I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? I'm not ready for this. And he's like, standards are 500-pound deadlift, 500-pound squat, 315 bench, but really you want about a 225 overhead press for like your very beginning super heavyweight, right? Which is what I was going for. And he's like, but you also need to learn how to compete. Mm-hmm. So what I tell all my clients is like, they're like, oh, I want to get super strong and then I want to compete. No. Learn how to compete while getting super strong.
Yeah.
Then when you are super strong, you'll already know how to compete and you'll be great.
Well, and being in this sport has really made me question what is strong. And because now I get that, like, how should you be? And I think one of the things I hear regurgitated a lot in the strongman community is don't, like, if you can zero no more than 2 of the events, it's still worth going and getting something out of.
Yeah.
And depending on the thing, like, maybe even 3, I could argue that, like, you should still be going and pushing that. But you're right, and it's so crazy because, like, I mean, we all know people with, like, monster deadlifts or monster presses, and I got gangly arms. My deadlift is a lot better than my press. And it's funny because, like, every time I'll go out there and miss the press or get 1 or 2 reps on the press, and it's like, all right, now we got to come back with deadlifts. But it's wild because somebody, you know, you see them like, oh, that's a 500-pound deadlift. They're strong. And then you watch them try and throw a bag over the thing, and they can't lift the bag, and you're like, wait, were they strong?
Yeah.
And now I've gotten to this point where it's like this strength dysmorphia is, I don't even know what strong means anymore. Right? Like, I'm stronger than the average person, but now I only train with strongman athletes, and it's so weird because I'm an engineer professionally, and I love the people I work with. Not a lot of 500-pound deadlifters in that group, and it's frustrating sometimes because I come across like an asshole because they're like, how'd you do in the comp? And I'll be like, I pulled 500, and they're like, that's good. I'm like, wasn't good enough that time. And they're like, are you bragging about lifting 500 pounds? I'm like, no, because everybody else my weight did 550, and I'm still the 180-pound class, and the 220s come up and they're, nice job, little guy, and then they all pull 700. But I've still never met like a person in the wild that just randomly pulls 400 or 500 pounds. So you start to get that what is strong, and it's such a amorphous, like, are we talking mobility, strong in range of motion on one particular lift? And strongman really does a pretty good job of exploring all of it, from endurance to range of motion and all of that stuff.
Well, I love it because you said earlier powerlifting correlates over to strongman, right?
Yeah.
Strength-wise, absolutely. Mm-hmm. Functionable strength, though, these dudes have been doing the same 3 lifts for years. Yeah. And now they come over here and they can't pick up a fucking sandbag, but they can deadlift 700 pounds. And you're like, now you got to learn how to use your whole body instead of just the parts that you've trained.
Right. And I think what's interesting, like when I did mine, especially when I was training for like 1 rep max deadlifts and stuff like that, is where does practice and like central nervous system play a role versus raw strength? And once you're at like a 500 or 600 deadlift, like depending on your weight and things like that, all your progress from then on out comes from the tiniest cues. It comes from practice. It comes from just the confidence of knowing you can pick that weight up because you've picked it up before. But like, that's why you walk into any strongman comp, and especially depending on how vaguely the rules were written, right? You're like, oh, this is at 18 inches. Oh, this is at 16 inches. Oh, this one, you're starting from an elevated thing, so it's a much higher range of motion. Yeah. Like the events you had at the last Highlander and different in August or whatever, like I've lifted a bar before. This was a tree at half of my lifts, and it's still like finding the balance point. Yeah. My lower back was sore the next day because it wasn't that linear plane of motion, and there was no amount of practice I could have done to prepare for that lift unless I had that tree at my house. So it becomes more about how well-rounded can I get my strength to accommodate any kind of variance in what you see at the shows. And that's where I tend to lean away from the powerlifting a little bit, is those guys are incredibly strong. Oh, yeah. But they're so dedicated and so practiced, and they hit so much. But then you tweak a little thing. You give them an axle instead of a barbell, or you have them zerch or something and really engage them like the spinal erectors, and you do start to see some different results that aren't exactly like one-to-one. They don't make sense. Like if I want somebody to move my fridge for me,
Yeah.
and I've got a power lifter who has a max deadlift of 800 pounds, or like just your average strongman who I know can like haul 250 pound sandbag or load that, like they're not going to get hurt on that fridge, you know, that awkward, weird implement, because that's what they're kind of trained to do and support. And, you know, to the powerlifters, again, incredibly strong, but sometimes when they get out of their element, they almost get so strong and so confident that it'll mess with other like areas of their game when they try and like, oh, I can do 500 pounds and it's slightly different, or now you're slightly shifted, and oh, I've seen things go wrong pretty quickly.
Yeah, that people get hurt doing that.
Yeah.
Well, it's also, if you look at, like you're saying, CNS, your central nervous system, your bone structure even.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter how quickly your muscles grow. It does not, because if your body's not ready, you cannot do it, or you're going to fuck you up.
Yeah.
Like really bad. I mean, I did bone density. I almost have no porousness left in my bones. I was 5'10" in high school. I'm 5'8" now. Because of smashing my joints and my bone density down. Like, I could fall out of a fucking plane and all my organs would be dead. I probably won't break a bone. You know, like.
You sure you just weren't tippy-toesing in high school trying to put on a show
Honestly,
for the ladies?
who does? Who really does? I mean, losing 2 full inches in height, I'm super confused as how that even happened. And maybe I was just like standing up too tall, or my hair was higher, or what. There's got to be some excuse that I got besides just the crushing of my bones.
Yeah.
But there's also like Ray Williams, Optimus Prime is what he calls himself, but he's an Olympic powerlifter. Like he's one of the world's best. And one of the things he does, which I actually train, is you take your 100% squat max off and you crush your bones. So what you're doing is you're doing a 2 or 3 inch squat.
Yeah.
And you're just bouncing that weight on your back, getting your body, your central nervous system, and your bone density to a point that you can lift that for multiple reps.
It's my yoke warm-up. I do the same thing.
Yeah.
Like, bounce, if I got a 500-pound yoke, bounce like a 550-pound bar without moving at all.
Right.
Just get used to it, comfortable, and, you know, that's...
You have to prepare your body.
Yeah.
Because your muscles grow so quickly. Your tendons don't.
Right.
Your fucking bone structure doesn't change quickly. It takes years. It's the same thing with kickboxing, right? Your shins and shit, they're going to crack, but then they're going to heal and be stronger. So there's all this shit that people don't realize. And at a beginning, a novice level, they don't matter too much, right? Until you're putting 600-700 pounds on your fucking back or picking that up off the ground, now it's an issue.
100%. And I went through that the last 2 years. Like, I came in with a good strength base, and I was, you know, comfortably doing like 400, 500 on the yoke, right? And then you threw your show, and it was like 650 on the yoke, and then I think it ended up actually being 550 because it was a heavy-ass yoke.
Yeah.
But then the Nats yoke was 650, and so luckily training for your show prepped me for that. But even though I could do 650, dude, if I was doing that more than like once a month, you could just see it in all my other lifts, how it affected things, and things get really quantum. They get weird at those really high things, especially with how you recover in injury.
Yeah. So people were super weird about. So I trained this person for like 5 years-ish, right? And the first 2 to 3 years, their leaps were like 5 to 10 pounds every couple months, right? Just that's how much they were up in their maxes, and all of a sudden, now we're on to year 4, and we're getting 2.5 pound increases, you know? And he's just like, this is fucking bullshit. And I'm like, no, this is real life.
Yeah.
You are finally at what your body can actually produce completely. Because before you thought your body could do this. And I have to unteach you, mostly in your brain.
Yeah.
That your body can do more. And now we're at the point where there is no limit from your brain to your body. Now it is actually what your body can actually do.
At that day.
Just that day too.
And that's the thing I have to explain to a lot of people is at that higher level. You know, let's assume my best deadlift ever was 500 pounds.
Yeah.
Well, let's say like no one's at their best 100% of the time, especially because I'm training.
Right.
So let's say I walk around at 80%. that means on any given day, I can deadlift maybe 400 pounds.
Right.
But that means that's a 100-pound range in a deadlift. And as the numbers go up, they only get wackier. And then depending on how you're weighing your weights and your scales, you know, at maybe a 1% difference doesn't make much from the scale of 0 to 100. But now if you're 1% off on 500, it's did you deadlift 500 or did you deadlift 495 or did you deadlift 405? And people don't think, like, when you're talking 2.5 pound plates, that's less than the tolerance for a lot of these weights anyway.
Yeah.
So I think people have to understand that, especially when they're training, because I learned that, like, once you get to a point, you stop chasing 1 rep maxes. Like, you do to, like, set those records in your mind.
Right.
But you never really go, like, at any given time, I'm roughly around here, and in 6 months, I should be able to be about there.
Right.
But if anybody asked me, like, what can you deadlift today? I'd be like, I don't know, somewhere around.
Yeah. Well, it's also crazy because, like I'm in the 700s, right? Mm-hmm. So people are like, well, how long when I have a new client, they're like, about how long should this take? I'm like, anywhere from an hour to an hour and a half, depending on how your main lift's going. And I was like, going to be honest with you, the stronger you get, the longer it's going to take. I can't just pick up 700 fucking pounds.
Yeah.
I got to pick up 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Those have to be my warm-ups first before I can even get to my percentages, because 70% of 700 is like 580. Yeah. So I can't just like fucking go to 580 because that's my first working set. I have to prep my CNS. Yeah. I have to prep my body for lifting that kind of shit, because you will fuck yourself up.
And then you got to recover after, too. Yeah. You got work tomorrow.
Yeah. Have you ever done cryo?
No.
Dude, you should do cryo.
So, I'm so cheap. We were talking earlier about going to Goodwills. I was raised on the Goodwills. We didn't need to be. That's how they were. And it's so funny because I'm so scared now to try those things to make my life better. Yeah. Like, I got a massage for the first time ever last year, and like, it was amazing. Yeah. But now it's also like, damn, I need that now. Yeah. And that's why, like, with cryo or with like the nice foods and stuff, I'm always so scared because I'm like, it's gonna be amazing, and then I'm never gonna live without it.
It's amazing. So ice baths are one thing, right? Mm-hmm. And I feel like what people don't understand is like, oh, cryo is just that on steroids. Like, it's not. Because you're standing in like negative 200 degrees. You got to wear gloves and socks just so you don't get frostbite on them. And what I didn't know either is you better not have just had sex, because if you got a little bit of pre-cum or post-cum on your dick, that hurts too. So like, I like cracked it off the tip of my shit when I got out. I was like, oh my God. So, but it's intense. So you're in there for like 3-4 minutes. But when I got out, I did it every 3 days. No, 3 days a week is what I had it at. 3 days a week for fucking like, I want to say 6 months. Yeah. And I was getting ready for Nats, and like I was going for my pro card. And you bust your ass in the gym. You're fucking wrecked. You go into this cryo, and it feels like you just woke up from a great night's sleep. Like you're not sore. You could just go again.
See, now I'm going to have to try it. And then I'm going to be like, oh, no, this is amazing.
Right? Because sometimes they'll let you do a couple for free to kind of get you in there. And I mean, look at those kind of coupons, because I'm pretty cheap myself, right? Like, I like spending money, but I don't like spending money. Usually if it's on me specifically, I have a really hard time doing that.
I'm the same way. That's why getting married ruins you, dude. Like, I could sleep on the floor with a nasty towel as like a makeshift blanket. I'd be fine. Yeah. And my wife is like, hey, we're doing these sheets now. And you know what? Now I don't think I could sleep on the floor anymore. I was like, where are my nice sheets
The
at?
first 1,000 count sheets you get, you just don't even... 500 peasants. You know, I'm not sleeping on these peasant sheets. That's right. Yeah, it's nuts, man. I get it.
Too afraid to get off that boxer ramen. Like, I just want my easy, simple Little Caesars life.
Are you ever, I mean, not to get too personal, are you ever planning on children or anything of that nature?
I'm kind of open to it. My wife isn't. And
Okay.
honestly, I love that because then I can make her out to be the excuse. And I get to train strongman all the time and be like, I'm just supporting my wife over
Yeah.
here and I'm just living my life. But
Well, that cost and life change and all that other stuff is also its own thing, right? Like everything's fucking expensive. Children are expensive as shit. Not to mention the emotional cost, right? Like I haven't been to the gym. I didn't go personally for myself last week at all, and it was mostly I'm dealing with a 17-year-old,
yeah.
and I just he also wants to go to the gym, but I also don't want to train a prick, that just like. He's just so unappreciative, just so used to the amount of giving he's been given. There's just no appreciation there at all. Like, people pay me to do what I'm doing for you right now, and you got an attitude about it, and I'm just asking you nicely to do it, Like, so it definitely gets rough, but, yeah, man, the kids are intense.
Dude, every time... It's funny now because my wife's brother had their kids and my brother had a kid all like 2 years ago, kind of at the same time.
Yeah.
And so my family's in Missouri, my wife's family's Illinois, and now it's just me and my wife out here in Portland. And they had their kids, so we are completely off the radar. Yeah. So like the other day, I got a new gym setup. I was kind of lucky there. She let me have it, but I was like, she was like, we're not having kids for the next year. Like, no, all right, that's diaper fees. Go for it.
Diaper fees.
She's like, can I go take this taxidermy class? And I'm like, we're not having kids the next year. She's like, nope. I'm like, take that class. Let's go. Live that no kid life while we can.
Dude, I mean, it's worth it. It's awesome. So the only thing I got to say is I started at 17, right? So I'm almost done, right? And I'm 35. Yeah. So by 40, I should be about done-ish, almost, right? I got a couple more years.
And for you, though, like, as somebody who's maintained a physical status and, like, still been involved in your community, that is just, like, taking the leash off, right? And then you're ready to go back in there and, with, like, the real estate you guys have been doing and this huge psychotic thing that's just kind of blown up community-wide, like, that's going to be really cool to kind of go into.
Well, it's going to be crazy because, I mean, honestly, my theory was as soon as kids were done, I'm going to disappear. Fuck everyone and everything. I'm out. I'm going to travel the whole world and like, figure all that shit out, which I'll probably do for a year and then just get bored. I love my animals too much. You can't just leave a whole farm, I plan on getting a little bit of land, but eventually I want land to where I can do, like, the Warrior Expo by myself on my own land.
Dude, the stuff that you would build, there would just be cars and random stuff laying there like, oh, that's for next year's competition. Yep. I've got an idea, but I don't know how to lift that quite yet, but it's coming.
So I got 5 years to get ready I'm running nationals in 5 years.
That is awesome.
I'm excited and scared. Right? Because first of all, that's like 500 fucking people I got to figure out how to do. I have to have enough implements to run all these guys and figure out how to do it efficiently. So I'm really trying to get really good. I mean, this car, you still have a little Geo Metro. We're going to be flipping that in August.
Dude, that's so awesome.
I'm super stoked, but we got to figure out how to do it correctly, how to do it safely. Yeah, if you want, before we leave, we can try and flip it.
We'll play with it. I'm here for it.
I'm concerned about it being in the driveway and on a steep incline, because if we pick it up, I don't know which brakes are actually holding on to what. I don't need it rolling on two wheels into my other vehicle, but
I'll have to turn the podcast off by that. You hear chunk chunk and you just hear me crying in the background.
Well, yeah, when I'm ready to flip that thing, you'll be one of the first people.
Dude, that's so awesome. That's really cool to run nationals too, I think.
Yeah.
I just it was my first trip this year when I went to Charlotte, North Carolina for them, and it was really cool. They set it all up, but I think there's a lot of pressure to create such a cool space and everything. Yeah. And, especially at that level, it almost takes a little bit of the fun out because everybody's so fussy and they're so competitive that they're hypercritical. But at the same time, that's just awesome to get your community involved in there. It's just your opportunity. And at the end of the day, you're doing everybody a favor by hosting that. And I think that's just a really cool way to get involved.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. Did I tell you all the stuff we're doing at this next expo? It'll be Labor Day weekend next year.
No.
It's 3 days this time instead of 2. We're going to have the normal, which will be Highland Games, I'm going to get powerlifting back in it. Strongman, and then Boo Hurt is going to be back. But with Boo Hurt, we're going to have a normal... Boo Hurt's going to be doing its own thing all day.
Heck
so
yeah.
we're going to have the singles tournament, we're going to have the teams tournament, and then we're going to have 150 versus 150 battle.
Dude.
Fucking monsters. Or as big as I can make it. If I can get 300 people there, I'll make it 300 people. If not, we'll go as big as we can. 50 on 50 will be cool.
That Boo Hurt that we had set up, like, especially with the first time, it was so cool to, like, you'd see all the strongman go, and then everybody would, like, haul ass back to go watch them, like, fight each other. And it was awesome.
It was so much fun, man. So that's going to happen. Timber Games. I'm trying to get them over there. Do you know what that is?
No.
Lumberjacks.
Okay, yeah, I have seen that. Dude. Those people are crazy.
So we're going to get them cutting down trees, fucking chopping shit with axes, climbing shit, all that. So that'll be a lot of fun. And then, what's up there? Strongman, powerlifting, arm wrestling will be back. Highland, Boo Hurt, and Timber Games. So Timber Games is the one that's going to be the biggest addition. And we might have to use a different part of Adam's farm. Because if it's required to do the log roll... You know what that is?
Where they're in the water?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's got a couple little lakes on his fucking property, and we'll just do it in the lake, man.
Can you imagine all them Timber Games people, like, going after the Highland Games people, trying to cut their log, and all the Highland Games people are like, not these. These are my sacred logs. You're not touching these.
Yeah.
You're going to have to separate them.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, that's a nice log you're chopping down. You mind if I throw it afterwards?
Right. Leave it alone. This is my log.
That'd be pretty funny. I didn't think about that. But yeah, you gotta come, man. You gotta get involved.
I'm in. If you're putting on a show, if it's within this, like, this is my community, and I get to be a part of it. So, like, I'm loving it. I'm happy to be here doing this stuff as much as I can put into it, because, I don't know. And the 3 years that I've spent, like, I've grown a lot. I've met the coolest freaking people in the world, and, like, that's all I want to do now is give back. And it'd be cool to chase more nationals and other stuff now, but all I want to do is, like, cement that Pacific Northwest community. We're so lucky that we've got so many good athletes.
Yeah.
Both in Portland, it's Seattle, everywhere in between. We've got some monsters who compete out here.
Oh, yeah.
And we're lucky, and it's cool that, like, in this specific area, we've got our own kind of a thing going.
It's pretty crazy how many guys are here, especially given, like, the weather and shit.
Yeah.
It's been super difficult. But to find out an actual strongman gym that has some shit, otherwise everybody's working in their fucking garage.
You're the only place, I think, in a hardcore barbell is the only place in like a 20-mile radius that isn't a garage that you can throw bags.
Yeah.
I don't know anywhere else you can. And I mean, we've got some good powerlifting gyms and stuff like that, but yeah, the sandbags, the odd implements, the random stuff, like, that's hard to find. Oh, yeah. And that's the fun stuff.
It is. And it's fun for me, too, because I can also, like, use Jake's gym, right? Like, just, like, throw everything in there and be like...
He's such a good guy.
I love Jake, man. He's been great. He's a lot of... he's just good energy, too. Man, you get in there, he's like, sure, let's fucking do it. Let's go for it.
Everything about that gym and the culture that you bring there is... there's no gatekeeping. It's beautiful. You walk in, you're like, hey... Want to try a heavy ass sandbag? It might kill you, but you can try it, dude. I'll show you how to do it.
And I'm here. I'm here for you in case it doesn't go right.
It's so supportive and so cool to see people coming in, and it's awesome.
Yeah.
For your Highland, or is it going to be the same four? Or are we going to open it up more?
So that also depends. So this may not be a Highlander.
Okay.
This may be an entire Highland festival.
Okay.
So I may be giving kind of like the reins up a little bit on this one and letting them run an entire, I'm talking bagpipes, dancing, all the vendors, and the Highland Games in the other side.
Yeah, I don't want to disparage or talk poorly of anybody, but like with some of the stuff that's happened on the Portland Highland Festival, and I don't know what your goals, so I'm certainly not trying to speak for you or nothing, but I'm always like, with that last little, like, the introduction to it, I'm like, dang, if Tyler could kind of usurp this show and make it part of the Boo Hurt and the Strongman, it would be just the coolest Pacific Northwest, like, mass, like,
I
would
got
just be sick.
Extremely lucky. I talked to the lady who runs the Kelso Highland Games, And she was just a fucking sweetheart about everything. She's like, we've been doing this one for 50 years. So she's like, not concerned. I mean, we're doing these a week apart, is what we're going to be doing. And she's just like, yeah, I'll introduce you all the athletes, all the vendors, I'll let you have their names, all this shit. And she's like, just such a wealth of information that we're going to try and like run them almost back to back. Like hers is going to be literally the week after mine.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so it's going to be a lot of fun, and that's why I'm trying to commit to where I'll have an entire day of Highland Festival will be going on. I'm going to try and make sure that the actual games isn't conflicting with like Strongman or something of the same thing. But I want someone to be able to walk around and be like, this is fucking cool. Wait, what's that? Like, oh, let's go watch that fucking thing, right? Like, that's what I want to do.
And that's how you get into it, is you see, like, that's how I got into Strongman, is you see somebody doing, like, I wonder if I can flip that log. And that's why, like, shout out to you and Nate for what we did in August this year. Is like, Nate was so good with the novice Highlanders. I had done one course for, like, flipping the log. I've done a couple instances of, like, throwing, but it was my, like, 5th time touching most of those things. And you ran a full show on a hot-ass day in a field that probably wasn't the most perfect in terms of, like, flat turf stuff. And not knock on all the woods, but not a person got hurt. They did so good teaching us how to throw, how to be safe.
Yeah.
And then there was a lot of success, and everybody was fun, and I just cannot believe we got through all of that stuff. It was educational and competitive at the same time, and we saw some really cool stuff, and I really liked how you guys ran that, so I'm excited to see what it goes with. But
it's going to be real cool. Nate wants to not be a part of it, and not saying like he wouldn't help with the Highland game part.
Right.
He just, I don't know if you know all the drama.
I know a bit about it.
Yeah, so he was a part of why they didn't have Highland games in Portland last year.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I want him a part of it more than I'd want the association, if anything.
Right.
So, we'll see what we can do, and that'll be fucking cool. But, like, this next comp in February is going to be a lot of fun. It's a little confusing on a few of them. Like, I just got the kegs from Vice Beer. I'm going to be drilling them out. I'm going to make them so they're basically just keg clamps. And two of them are going to be about 50 pounds a piece, and 2 of them are going to be about 100 pounds a piece. And we're going to put them on the edges. My biggest concern is how high up can I structurally keep these kegs awake or alive for like 100 people?
Yeah.
Right? Because some of this weight's 700 fucking pounds.
Yeah.
So even if it's just 600 because the kegs are 100, how many times can they do a rep on these fucking kegs? And so I may have this turn into almost maybe a ladder.
Okay.
To where the kegs are going to be third. So half the people are going to make it to the keg, right? Which will be 700 fucking pounds.
Yeah. But then it'll be, that's the final boss.
Right.
And then they don't face the abuse, but the cool will still get to lift it. That's a good idea.
So that was a thought, like maybe like an axle bar to start, which will be kind of lighter, and then like a normal deadlift, maybe a stiff bar. So that one's kind of hard too, but like at like 3/4 of it, and then the fucking heaviest one will be, or maybe even a trap bar. I don't know.
So like, I gotta throw you props here too. So my biggest thing about Strongman is the community and people coming together to just do quirky shit because they can, right? And so like this whole event, it's sponsored by Vice Beer, which is awesome. And right away, same with like the events you've always had, but we've got these local investors and supporters into the Strongman community, and that's awesome. And then what do you do with it? You're like, all right, how can we incorporate this more? And now almost every lift has a keg theme to it. Yeah. So it's like where that creativity meets community, meets Strongman. It's just going to be a lot of fun, and I think that's super rad. So what are we starting off with? The keg press?
Keg press.
Clean and press?
Yeah.
Which, now I'm going to go on record and say this. I still hate training with those steel kegs in the winter, man. Yeah. That shit hurts. It doesn't matter if you do it perfectly. You catch that steel right in the side of your ear, and you get a little cauliflower ear just on accident.
Dude, you will.
I'm like, how he's going to have me doing this in my cold-ass gym in the winter.
Right, and what I didn't notice was somebody's been practicing with like the 235 I got in there and smashed the fucking bottom. Oh. So now you can't even get your fingers in it. So I'm going to have to go in there and fucking bend that back, which will be Interesting.
And every keg is slightly different, the way it grips and the way it rolls.
And what's inside. Like, some of them have sand, some of them have water.
Yo, dude, that water one is nuts.
Yeah. It's a lot of fun. So we're going to do the keg press.
Okay.
Duck walk. Which is basically you're just going to have to hold both handles of the...
Isn't that how everybody moves kegs anyway? And isn't that the worst thing in the world?
It sucks. It does.
Had to train, I think, in March this year down in Salem with the Oregon Strongest Man and Woman Games. They did the keg load, and so I was working with like a 250-pound keg, and shit, just pulling that thing out of my garage to get it set up. You're doing that awkward keg lock, and it doesn't matter if it's 100 pounds or 300 pounds. That awkward little stance shimmy you have to do sucks. It's going to be fun, dude.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. Then we got the bat. Right, the bat I think is third. Did I say that? Yeah, bat, and then we're going to do the deadlift, and then the fucking... so the grip for that, too, Grenade Grips is sponsoring it again. But we're not going to do the actual grenade grips. We're doing the pinch grenades. So it's basically...
I've seen those, yeah.
Like, it's like a little plastic grenade that's flat. It's like 1/4 of an inch thick. So you're going to have to hold up a growler on both sides with fingertips. It's going to be sexy.
Oh, I brought an implement today. It's a little pinch implement that we can play with today for our grip stuff.
I'm excited.
Dude, I love it.
Oh, yeah, we're doing Strongman Sundays at Hardcore at 3 o'clock this week. And then it changes sometimes. It depends. With me not doing soccer, it's probably going to be about 3 every week. And, yeah, man, it's going to be a lot of fun. We're doing grip work this week. I don't know if you've seen some of the grip shit we got over there.
I've seen it. I'm excited to just get my hands on them because everything's different in its own unique way, and that's the kind of cool thing about those grip stuff too.
Yeah.
And I'm just gonna like throw out grip in general.
This fucking thing.
You good?
Yeah, it's recording.
Coming from like a rock climbing community, like I've always obsessed with grip, and I have a pretty good farmers, and I'm a gangly boy anyway, so it helps. But like, grip is cheat codes when it comes to strongman or jiu-jitsu, martial arts, just in life. And one thing I know is like you see a boy with like chunky forearms, like they work with their hands.
Yeah.
And I've seen somebody who has a really good grip, even if they're using straps on their deadlift, their ability to make that connection with the bar and have that much cleaner of a strength transfer through the implement. Sandbags. Somebody with grip is going to make that pick a million times easier. Stones, same thing. So, like, grip is cheat codes.
Yeah.
And so just a little bit of attention to it where it's played, and it's awesome. I think Nats this year even has a double overhand 2-inch axle deadlift. And it'll be funny to watch these, like, huge, strongest people in the world struggle a little bit to pick up 300 pounds with this 2-inch axle when they're typically deadlifting 600 no problem.
Yeah, it's definitely a big difference. I mean, I trained probably about 3 years of my career refusing straps.
Yeah.
I wouldn't use them. I would use them in comp, but I've already, like, I'm over under. I usually use switch grip if I'm deadlifting.
Yeah.
But my grip was so stupid. I didn't need the straps, but, like, I can pull an extra 3 fucking reps now because I have the straps on, right?
Yeah.
I always tell my clients and shit that just, like, let's train harder than you need, right? I mean, even with these sandbag over bar, like the throwing ones, like, I know your top is 45, but we're going to throw the 50 over that fucking thing. And you're going to get great at it. That way, when we hit the 45... It's nothing, and you get, like, 10 reps out of it, right? So, we're also going to have... This keg press is going to be weird. It's strategic. So, one of the kegs is going to be heavier than the other one you're allowed to pick up.
Okay.
One is 1 point, and the other one's 2 points. So, do you go for the super fucking heavy one and get 2 points on every lift, if you can, and then go until you're wrecked, and then hit the lighter one, or do you go the other way? You have to hit both. So, 3 points gets you on the board, if that makes any sense.
Yes, 100%.
So you got to hit the light and the heavy. Now, do you hit the heavy, then just bang on that fucking light one over and over and over again? Or do you go light, heavy, and just hit that as many times as you can, go back to the light when you can? So there's all this, like, thought into it.
And that goes back to what we were talking about with the chest. And I'm trying to figure that out now because Ugly Sweater coming up, they have that same setup with 3 different bags.
Oh, shit.
So, like, for my weight class, it's 200 is 1 point, 230 is 6 points, and 250 is 25 points. And we're talking sandbag to shoulder.
Yeah.
And it's funny because I am a quick twitch athlete. I don't have much endurance to save my life. And
Right.
it's interesting because it's like, honestly, for me, I might be able to get 4 reps at 230, but I'm going to get 2 reps at 250 and I'll probably feel the exact same. So in those kind of events, like I'll try as many on the high as I can, but the high and the low aren't different enough for me because I'm going to tap out on endurance first either way.
Yeah, so and then that you got to figure out your body type.
Yeah.
Like how you work best.
But then the Carson, the other 180 local who was in those comps, like his endurance is just God tier. His strength is amazing too.
Yeah.
And like, I mean, I could see him repping both of them out, but he's somebody who like you give him something, he'll rock like 50 reps and just bury me on endurance. So like you get these like 2 different kind of people going at it, and you have an event like that, and you'll see 2 people take 2 different paths, and I think that's super cool.
Yeah. Yeah, it's going to be very interesting. You got to figure out what to do on where. I mean, I know that I've been a part of a couple of them where I'll get 1 rep to put myself on the map for that, but I'm not beating your 6.
Right.
You know, so I'm going to get 1 to give myself the points I need
Yeah.
to keep going and not fall behind, but at the same time, I'm not going to wreck myself going hard as shit on something I suck at.
Right.
When I can blow you out of the fucking water over here and get more points out of it.
Yeah.
So it's crazy how much thought actually goes into this shit once you get there.
And it's mental too. You come out with that press and you're hot, and then maybe you have to go first on the next run, and all of a sudden like you want to maintain that, but you don't know what the dude's got for a pull or for a yoke, and it's all like guessing what your other person's gonna do or knowing exactly what you can do under different conditions. And you're right, it just gets all chest out, and it's fun. It's what makes it awesome.
Yeah, it's fucking intense. I love it. Well, we probably got to close up here, right? But God, you're awesome. We love having you on all the shows. You guys, you and your wife, you're always welcome, man. You guys bring great energy. Everyone loves you. Just so you're aware. Justin almost came, and then Jonathan wanted to come too. 2 of the helpers that were there last time, and he was like, I don't know if I can make the podcast. I was like, Klaus is going to be here. He's like, I'm going to try my hardest, dude. Like, I'll be there if I can. And he wasn't able to make it, but everyone fucking loves you guys there, man.
I sure appreciate that. I think it's one of those things that, like, real ones recognize, like, the other ones. And I think, you know, everybody's got their different ideas, but clearly we're all here fighting for, like, the strongman community and our local stuff. So that's what it's about, is supporting each other. And as long as you're putting on shows, I'll volunteer. I'll figure out how to help flip a car. I'm into this.
Hell yeah, dude. So I will need your help with that. So once I get the car where I need it, I want to take the glass out, obviously. But I got to figure out how I'm going to cover it, all that other bullshit. And then I want it on flat ground. I'm going to need a guy your size, right? Because just because I can flip it doesn't mean everyone else can. And what I need is a lightweight woman to be able to flip it. So I need it light enough for that, but I also need to be able to load it so the super heavies aren't just throwing it. You know what I mean? So I got another car too that I need to go pick up. I just don't have a fucking trailer the size for it. I'm 2 inches shy to pick up this fucking... It's a Honda Civic hatchback. It's like an 86. No engine, no nothing. And that's what I need. This one... And it has to be free. That was my rules for this fucking thing. I was like, whatever I do, it's got to be free. And I ended up with 2 cars. And so...
That's so cool.
I'm stoked because these guys are like, yeah, fuck it. It's like, does there need to be a title? I'm like, I am throwing it. Like, literally. I'm also going to put handles in where the engine was so that we can deadlift it, too.
Dude.
It's going to be so much fun. I'd love to be able to connect something to where we can press it. Like, just from the front.
Oh, like almost like a Viking style?
Yeah.
Like, no
so it'd
way.
have to be up top, and then you're just going to be doing it like that. I mean, I would like to figure out if I can, like... Yeah, I got tons of ideas.
Oh, my goodness.
The only issue is the best welder I know is in fucking... is like 5 hours away. He's the one who built those Sisyphus stones.
Oh, yeah? Oh,
and he does such good work, especially strongman shit.
Yeah.
They just don't have a lot of shit up that way. It's like an hour from the border of Canada, right? So it's Deception Pass. It's up in that way.
Okay.
So, yeah, all the guys off the Navy base are competing there, but, like, there's not a lot of people, and he builds such good shit. He's the teacher of the welding class for the high school. So he makes it their group project, and it's built fucking well. He's like an engineer as well.
Yeah.
So I just got to find someone local that'll be able to make some of this shit and really just kind of do it The thing is, he's like, pay for materials and like we'll handle it as a class because it's helping everybody.
Right.
But I got to find something like that down here. But
God, that's so cool though. You give businesses, like you give business to local people.
yeah,
They're using it to teach classes and stuff, so they're all getting better. We're all gonna flip this thing.
yeah,
And it's just, it's something that is just net positive all around, and like, in weird ass times and stuff like that, like, that's what we need. I just want people to come together, and that's how it should be done. That's so cool.
yeah. I love doing it, man, and hopefully it'll just keep getting cooler. And I'm gonna create these implements so that we can have these for nationals. I'm prepping it up.
Oh, dude, heck yeah.
So if we can have a couple cars to flip, I mean, because I tell anybody we're doing car flips in August, and they're like, fuck yeah, I'm there. Like, every single person is so stoked on this shit. If I could flip a car inside and not make a mess, we probably would.
Who doesn't want to flip a car? Who
doesn't?
wasn't
Yeah.
like 8 years old and watching some superhero something, or even like the old school Strongman games, and just watch somebody do something ignorant and incredible? And if we can find a safe way to do that and let everybody do it, that's amazing.
I'm excited for it. So we'll see. And even if I got to put some sort of handles on the side of it as well to kind of get people to be able to get it up and over, fine. But again, safety, one of our main concerns here. So we'll figure out how to fucking do that and make sure the car doesn't come back down on people is my biggest concern.
Yeah, some kind of like a safety catch.
Well, so what, like, same thing with like the finger fingers?
Yeah.
Right? How they walk in with a thing. So if it does come back down, it's not going to hurt you. But at the same time, there's got to be rules, right? So, like, if it does come back down on the catches, you're done.
Right.
Right? Like, I can't have you just use this catch to help you inch it all the way over. Like, you have to have full control, but as soon as it backs down...
Right, or it's like, if at that level, it's a clean and press. Once it comes back here, but if you unload it, and then you come in, reposition like it's a different kind of Viking press, that changes the game. So
it's almost like a tire flip-ish. It's going to be fun, dude.
These are problems I never expected to have to solve in life. But how cool is it that like so you can do that and bring that to people? That's awesome.
Well, I mean, a lot of these, I mean, how many people are doing these for the pictures, right? Like, I like this last show.
Dude, the last show had the sexiest pictures coming out of it.
Tori did a great fucking job with pictures, man. But, like, how many people can put a tree up over their head and just be like, boom. Like, it wasn't that heavy for everyone. No. But they held a fucking tree, and it looks cool. Yeah, dude.
So let's not pretend like we're not all in here because we watch these big buff dudes look cool and like the 80s, 90s, early... Now that's all we're doing is continuing the tradition of looking cool. And
my point of that comp was to have my logo on everyone's profile picture of them pressing that fucking log or whatever they were doing there, and it was cool. It worked out really well.
And that goes back to it is like... When you see that iconic kind of imagery or things like that Strongman does, it brings people. It makes people ask questions. How heavy is a tree? How heavy is this car? And I know we're over time, but like, when you start to bring people in there, maybe they do just come to flip a car, right?
Yeah.
Then they're like, what does it take to flip a car? I got to deadlift. I got to press. I got to be mobile.
Yeah.
And now, like, they're going to get their shot. They're going to look good, and that's awesome. But they're going to learn something along the way, and the people that you bring in there to do that are now all better because they saw some random hairy dude flipping a car, and that's awesome. It's something you can turn like kind of a silly, hyperbolic thing into like a really learning experience, a community building experience, and it's just awesome.
It's fantastic. It really is, and it really is like one of those things. You go into the gym, and I tell my clients, I tell just anyone coming to the gym, find the biggest fucking person and ask them a question, and I guarantee they're not what you think they are.
No,
they want to help you. They're so happy you're here. You know, like just anybody. Go to the biggest fucking dudes. And these strongmen, it's a giant group of all those people.
My wife, it never ceases to amaze my wife to see like the biggest, almost meanest looking dudes. Everybody's got beards and tattoos, and then... They're the most adorable girls in a bathroom, energy supporting each other, hooting and hollering, they're being silly, they're comfortable around each other, and it's like this crazy masculine environment, but at the same time, it's so sweet and soft and caring, and it's beautiful. I love it.
It's funny because I feel like this is masculinity at its peak.
It is.
It's real masculinity. Because none of us, like, who the fuck am I concerned about calling me a lady?
Yeah.
Or like feminine or what? I'm huge.
Yeah.
I can fight. Like there's this like everything that you consider a man. I can handle all that. I can build shit. I'm building a right. Like so. There's no way in any way someone can be like, you're gay or like even that. I mean, I'm fucking swinging for both teams. I don't give a shit. You know? Like. Fuck it. Do what you want.
When you don't got nothing to prove, life gets so much easier. Like, I've seen dudes 600-pound deadlift in a dress, and you're like, oh, I guess that doesn't actually have anything to do with how strong you are. You know, like...
Yeah, go ahead, like, fucking whoever you want, like the homophobes or whatever. Go call that guy gay. Yeah. Go do it. He's huge. He'll probably just be like, oh, sweetheart.
And, dude, so far, like, the strongman culture, the way it kind of weeds out the assholes for the most part. And I felt so at home. And it's weird, like, growing up in masculine Missouri environment and kind of coming out here in Portland is a little softer.
Yeah.
You know, and it's just different. But it's, like, at the same time, to see people, like, get into quote-unquote macho stuff, but... be so sweet and caring and supportive, like that is peak masculinity.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, the ability to, like, you shouldn't have to be hard all the time. You know, like being soft is it's needed. Like you need to be soft with the people you love.
Strongman
we all love each other.
I get to be hard. I get to prove myself so that I can be soft the other 99% of the time, and I can walk around however I want, present however I want.
Yeah.
I got my long hair and painted toenails, and nobody bothers me much about it too much.
Yeah, that's fantastic. All right, well, fuck it. Let's wrap this up. I was trying to figure out where my son was at with work, but I guess it's handled. Lily's fucking great.
Heck yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so yeah, this was Tyler Toby Townsend.
And Klaus Kroeger.
Thank you for coming, man.
Thanks for having me. It was really good. I love talking with you about anything. I'm always in.
So I'd like to get a few people together one of these times and have just this giant banter of like just strongman or just like-minded people, man. Yeah. Cool people. So I'll let you know when we're doing
Tanya or some other gals too for some of that representation, because the female strongman scene, especially out here, is awesome. Yeah. And like you had Inez and Aaron Murray at your shows, and that's the other thing. Like my wife comes in and sees all these strong gals and all these dudes fangirling over them, and that's the coolest thing in the world.
Dude, Inez is literally the strongest woman in the world right now.
Not even by like shows. Not even on an accident or close. Like she has demonstrated that she is a beast. Her press dwarfs my press. There is nothing I can do about it. And she posts on Reddit all the time about that stuff. It's
not only did she win, she went more.
Yeah.
And did it again. I was like, fuck yeah, dude.
And then comes to your shows and is a total sweetheart, helping out all the dudes and the ladies, taking pictures. It's so cool.
Yeah, she's one of my favorite people for sure. Her and Lily got along really well. I had to make sure to be like, I fangirled over her a little too hard. And so Lily's like, I'm like, how about you show her around, sweetheart? Like, and let's just make sure that's all good, because she's super cool, but let's see what you think about her. Because if you don't like her, I don't like her, right? Like, you know, she's always going to be great, but I fangirled way too hard. She's the strongest woman in the world. She's coming to my show.
My wife fangirled over her. Like, I went in there and I, like, just learned kind of who she was and stuff like that. And my wife comes in like, she's amazing. And then we're talking to her about her tattoos, and she's just being sweet. And now my wife has a crush, so that's cool, too.
I think mine does, too. Oh, well. All right, well, are you coming to Strongman Sunday?
Yeah.
Fuck yeah, all right. You're bringing some shit,
I'm here. I got it.
Cool. All right, well, thank you, bud. We'll have you back, and, thanks.
I'm in. I appreciate you.
You too, man.